This is Pieta, and it depicts Mother Mary holding the dead body of Jesus after his crucifixion. Christian art में इस सब्जेक्ट का एक बहुत ही बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस है एंड द टर्म पाएटा ये दो वर्ड से मिलकर बना है, पिटी एंड कंपैशन. This is an Italian word and it captures the intense sorrow and maternal love of Mary for her child, Jesus Christ. But why am I talking about this? Well, today I want to talk about Kim Ki-duk, who is a Korean master filmmaker. When we think about Korea, what do we think about? We think about Squid Games, we think about K-drama, right? Or the boy bands there. Maybe the Korean makeup, but there is a underbelly of that country that very few people talk about, and Kim Ki-duk and his work represent that. So let's talk about it. I am Ronnie and you are watching Abstract Thoughts. Pieta Kim Ki-duk की 2012 फिल्म है and it is exactly what the title is. It's about a love of a mother for her child and it plays out in a very different way than you might imagine. At the core, it's a story of revenge, but it plays upon the larger human condition. All of us have feelings and emotions which are suppressed by this cruel world. हम जॉब में जाते हैं और हमारी जिंदगी उस जॉब के लिए खर्च कर देते हैं. And at the end of the day, what do we get? We get a little money just to survive, just to go by. This is how capitalism has taken over our society. It has taken over our life. हमारा टाइम, हमारी जिंदगी सिर्फ इस जद्दोजहद में निकल रही है कि हमें कल खाने को मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. हम में से कुछ लोग बहुत लकी हैं जिनको ये तो मिल रहा है, बट कुछ लोग इतने लकी नहीं होते हैं. उनको दूसरों से, जिनके पास ज़्यादा पैसा है, उनसे लोन लेना पड़ता है. और इस सिंपल से कॉन्सेप्ट को किम की-डुक ने पाएटा में बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से यूज किया हुआ है. देयर इज अ लोन शार्क हु लिव्स इन अ पर्टिकुलरली बीट अप पार्ट ऑफ कोरिया और उस एरिया में काफी गरीबी है, तो लोग लोन लेते हैं. एंड दिस गाय, इफ द पर्सन इज नॉट एबल टू रीपे देयर लोन, गोज टू देम एंड टॉर्चर्स देम इन ऑर्डर टू गेट द लोन बैक. और अगर वो नहीं दे पाते हैं तो फिर उनको वो क्रिपल कर देता है और फिर जो भी इंश्योरेंस मनी होता है वो उसको मिल जाता है. सो दिस इज हाउ ही रिकवर्स द मनी. एंड द गाय इज रियली ब्रूटल. He has no emotions because he grew up without a mother and he has no prospects in life. He is basically a monster. Then comes a woman in his life and the story plays out. मैं spoil नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, but this film is a must watch if you are into cinema that makes you feel feelings while tapping into the human condition. Then this film is a must watch. We say catharsis, right? film में इस term का बहुत use होता है, catharsis. Catharsis क्या होता है इस film को देखने के बाद मुझे पता चला. So it's a must-watch film and it shows the genius of Kim Ki-duk. He uses the film language in such a way that this film leaves a mark on you and it makes you think about it for days. It is the story of a mother, it is the story of a son, it is the story of a society, and it's a story of all of us. So do watch it. Kim Ki-duk was a South Korean filmmaker and he is mostly noted for idiosyncratic art house cinema. He refuses to work commercially and his films are mostly produced on a shoestring budget. मेरे लिए Kim Ki-duk represents a class of filmmakers who refuses to conform and challenge the societal norms. His films often represent that. So now let's talk about his next film, which is Moebius. Moebius takes brutalism and go to the next level. इस फिल्म में कोई डायलॉग नहीं है, but the way Kim Ki-duk shows the story to you is nothing short of exceptional. It's a story about pain and pleasure, how it plays out in your life, how it makes people do things that are considered immoral. And then Kim Ki-duk takes it to level 9000. If you are squirmish or if you are not able to handle blood, then please stay away from this movie. But if you can take that, then I highly recommend this movie because it shows the depths of human emotions. Kim Ki-duk की films में human condition is a recurring theme. He goes deep into the psyche of a human, takes all the emotions out and put them in front of you on the screen in the most raw way possible. And it takes a lot of guts to see those images. And इस film में सिर्फ images ही हैं. There is music, that's it. There are no dialogues. And to make a film in that way takes a lot of guts. This film also speaks about the unconforming nature of Kim Ki-duk. इस तरीके का एक्सपेरिमेंट करना, इस तरीके के सब्जेक्ट को लेके कोरिया जैसी कंट्री में एक बहुत ही बड़ा अचीवमेंट है. If I talk about this film in a crude way, then the gist of the film is where there is pleasure, the pain will follow. Pleasure and pain cannot live without each other. There is nothing in this world that can prepare you for this film. Either you are going to like it or hate it, there is no in between. The Buddhist philosophy says that you need to eliminate your desire and ego. And if you see that film with this in mind, then you might get something out of it. Although the film presents this idea in a very psychosexual way, but if you can get past that, you will get something that will stay with you for a long time and it will make you think. It is a story of a dysfunctional family in which the father has an affair with the woman and his wife gets jealous. That's all I will say. After that, what happens is for you to see. I highly recommend this movie if you can take the gore and shock value and are interested in philosophical ideas. Kim Ki-duk pursued fine arts in Paris from 1990 to 1992. After that, he wrote several screenplays, but his first directorial debut did not happen until 1996. After that, he went on to make several other films, but all of his films can be considered art house or experimental. When asked about whether he is ever tempted to go work within the mainstream system, he strictly said no, and he said that he is a different element from the directors like Park Chan-wook and Bong Joon-ho. If they are like wood or metal, he is like soil. They could be transformed into something else, but he can't. He doesn't have the ability to find the middle ground with his audiences, and he knows this too well, and it shows in his films. The next movie that I want to talk about today is Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter and Spring. Although this film doesn't have the shock value of the other two movies, it is a highly contemplative movie and deeply rooted into Buddhist philosophy. This is a film about cycle of life. Like the seasons change, the things in our life change. Our emotions change, our understanding of the world change, our understanding of ourselves change. And it is represented by a boy in this movie who is raised by a monk who lives out in the wilderness where no one else lives. The technicalities of this film are impeccable. If nothing, you will enjoy the imagery that you see on the screen. It's beautifully shot, the sound design is amazing, the acting is really good, and Kim Ki-duk comes himself towards the end of the movie. His character represents the redemption part of a life. In the initial part of the film, the boy tortures some animals and then he is punished by the monk for doing that. But he doesn't learn anything from that. Later in life, he makes some more mistakes for which he has to repent in order to get redemption. And in order to repent, he first needs to understand that what he is doing is wrong. The film presents this idea in a deeply contemplative way and the imagery supports that. For instance, the boy and the monk sleep in different part of the temple. The area where they sleep is open, but it has a gate, but no walls. The boy and the monk always go in and go out through the gate, even though they have the option to go around it, but they don't. This represents discipline, which the boy doesn't understand, and he breaks the discipline when desire comes into his life. This film should not be taken at face value. If you take it literally, then you might get offended because the monk initially and later the boy represents the self. The women characters in this movie represent desire. If you take it literally, you might find this film problematic because women are human beings, they are not temptation. And to think of them like that is doing disservice to the entire gender. Like other two movies, this film will make you think a lot. After it is over, you will probably think about it for at least a week. More ideas will come into your mind and you might go back to the film again just to see what just happened in front of your eyes. It's a deeply moving fable that might question the idea of you and it just might make you a better human being when it ends. It has the potential to make you self-conscious and you will actually start thinking about your actions, how they affect other people, how they affect yourself, how they affect your family members. The storytelling is very simple, but it contains a lot of symbolism. You need to understand that in order to enjoy this film fully. Seasons have been used in this film to represent different part of life. It starts with fall and ends with fall, but in the end, a lot of things happen. The leaves of the trees turn yellow and then they fall. After that, the lake freezes up and everything goes cold. But after that, the summer comes and everything blooms again. It's a part of life. It's how our life is spent. And Kim Ki-duk has presented this in a beautiful way in this film. It is a highly recommended movie from my side and I urge you to watch it. I think it is available on YouTube. These are the 3 films that I wanted to talk about today. Please do check them out, and if you like this video, I urge you to please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.